welcome to Flood the Earth, and thank you for joining me today. This is the podcast where faith meets action and saints come together to share, empower, and encourage one another as we navigate the challenges of life with unwavering hope. I am your host, Denise, and today I have with me Yahosh Bonner, and I'm so excited to have you today. I'm so excited.
Hey, I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I love the mission of this podcast. I love the saints. Let's do this.
Okay, so for those who don't know you, which by now I feel like everybody should, but just in case, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Yahosh Bonner. I do several things. I am a public speaker, motivational speaker. I co-host a show on BYU TV about families. I am an actor. I'm also a performing and recording artist and athletic director.
Oh, great. Awesome. And now you're married, obviously. And how many children did you say you had?
We have 4 children. I have 3 boys and 1 girl. Yep.
Oh, that's exciting. What are their ages?
My oldest is 12. That's Malachi. My next oldest is 8. Her name is Samaya. And then I have a 6-year-old named Nehemiah. And then my youngest is a 1.5 years, and his name is Kuregi.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, one thing I do want to ask, and I searched everywhere to find out before I talk to you. I have to know, as a parent myself, names are so important. It is like the biggest deal, right?
There's power in those names now.
Yes, there are. I want to know the meaning of your name. What is the meaning behind it?
Oh, my name.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. I didn't find it anywhere, and I can't believe nobody asked. Let me hear.
So my first name is actually Kuregi, and that's what I named my youngest son. And Kuregi is a Swahili name. My dad's favorite college professor, his name was Kuregi.
Okay.
And that name means protest. Yeah. So
wow.
But my name, I'm more of a namesake, more so named after his college professor because that's his favorite college professor.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess I was living up to that name in my early teenage years, protesting a lot of what my parents were asking of me. And I was a little bit difficult. And so when I was, I think 14 years old, I just moved and my parents moved me into a new school, and they signed me up and they said, hey, make sure his teachers call him Yahosh. His name is Yehoshua. Make sure they call him Yahosh. My middle name is Yehoshua, and it's a variation of Jesus' name in Hebrew. So Yahosh is short for Yehoshua. And so they felt that there was so much power in the name that would kind of help change my path and lead me towards Christ.
That is beautiful. Wow. That's pretty amazing. Do you feel like it did?
I think so. I mean, I think there's multiple reasons that things changed for me. I think first is separating me from the group of friends that I had. And then my parents just being really intentional about how they were raising me and helping me kind of build my own testimony. And also in my mind, as people are calling me Yahosh, like, why? It's a new beginning. Mm-hmm. It was a new beginning for me. Like, Kuregi, that period of my life was over. So I was able to start anew. And so it was extremely helpful.
Oh, I love that. So what was it like for you to grow up in a large family? Because for me, I imagine your life in the Bonner family growing up was a lot like a musical, but you're telling me that you were a little protester in the family. So I want to hear more about that.
So, I think a lot of music. When we would do our chores in the morning, we were playing music. You know, when we were playing card games or playing The Floor is Lava, we were playing music. We'd have people over for dinner. And then after we'd had dinner, we would sing them a song, and so music was surrounded by pretty much like everything that we did. My mom was a voice coach. And so she taught voice lessons. And when she had classes, she'd put us all in those classes so that we could learn how to sing. And eventually all of us learned how to teach as well. And so there was a lot of music involved in the raising of the Bonner family. And one thing that is really neat is with all the music that I remember, as I branched out on my own and went to college, and the music that stuck with me was the gospel music that we always listened to throughout the week, and especially on Sundays. I remember the gospel truths and the joy and how I felt when that music was being played, throughout our household. So musical, you're not too far off. And on my birthdays, my dad, he was so fun. He was so fun. He would beatbox,
Yeah.
And then he would do a freestyle rap for me every birthday, and it would cater just towards me. It was a lot of fun.
That is so fun. Okay, so did you hold any resentment to the music at all in your life? Was that maybe as a teenager? Did you ever
question.
bother?
Gosh. So it's funny because there's 8 of us, right? We all have the same parents, but we all had different experiences in the household. And so some of my siblings would say, yeah. I would say, no. I loved music. I loved to sing. My mom would make us sing in front of different people, and I loved it whenever she'd ask me to sing. But the thing was, I loved athletics, and I was pretty good, and so were my brothers and sisters. But when it came to music, I was like number 8. I was not nearly as good as the rest of my siblings. And so my mom would say, yes, they all sing. All my children sing, and this is our athlete.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
And everybody else were singers. And so in my adult life, I've finally been accepted as a singer, as a performer in the Bonner family. I even get some solos. And so for me, once I got finished playing college basketball, and then I was coaching high school ball, and I started singing my mom's gospel choir again, I had like this new greeny fire for music, and especially gospel music. And so it's still like feels so fresh and new to me, while my other brothers and sisters have worked professionally in music their whole lives, know? And so I feel like I might have a little bit more excitement about it. And I definitely have a great appreciation for the music that I was exposed to. So there's no resentment on my end. I'm just grateful because it connects me to my family. It also connects me to my faith and to my ancestors. So
I love that. And you know what I love about that story is that to me, that just shows how much joy we can find in the struggle. And so it sounds to me, what you're saying is that it was a little bit more of a struggle for you, maybe musically, to measure up a little bit more in comparison to everybody else in your family. But look how much more joy you have in it in comparison because of that struggle, right?
I've always loved to cheer on my brothers and sisters. Like there was like we do competitions and everything that we do, but it was always just a game and always just fun, And so I've always just cheered them on. And now that I've had an opportunity to have some shine and some recognition in music, I'm like, man, I can contribute. I can help out. I am supposed to be part of this family,
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Oh my goodness. So did you ever feel left out then?
Absolutely. Yes. Aww. Yes. I didn't get early on. I didn't get solos really. I wasn't acknowledged as a singer. And when we would do singing competitions, my little siblings would be laughing at me, and I'd compete against them, and they would beat me, and I'd be like, oh man, like I'm gonna get them next time.
Yeah.
And nobody ever really believed that I would. I always did, but nobody else really did.
Oh, that's good. I love that. There you go. Another thing. We learn so much from you. So we can, if we believe in ourselves, it doesn't really matter, right? What everybody else is saying.
If the Lord puts a passion on your heart, if there's a passion that you have, you do it. You don't not do it because the world thinks you're not good at it. No, this is what you love. You do it. And what helps with that, especially this is a quick story about my mom.
Okay.
And how music and the gospel came into her life is that she had a friend who was being made fun of at school. And she was like, hey, let's go fight these kids. Like, let's go fight them. Like, we're talking about you. And the girl said, I can't. My friend, my best friend wouldn't like it. And my mom's like, I'm the only friend you got. What are you talking about? And she's like, I'll take you to meet him. I'll take you to meet him. And she took her to church on Sunday. And when she was at church, the girl was in the choir and she sang a solo. And that's when my mom said her first prayer. And she prayed, oh my gosh, Lord, if you give me a voice like that, I'll use it for you.
Oh, wow.
it's affected every aspect of her life and our lives. She traveled the world at 16 years old because her church family paid for her voice lessons, and then she's learned how to teach, and then she's taught us, and it's been a huge blessing to our family. And for me, using the gifts that I have, as I've used them for the glory of God, they've only gotten better. I've only felt more comfortable. So.
That's awesome. So was your mom a member when she was growing up, or did she come from another church?
She was a member of the Baptist church.
Oh, okay.
False Avenue in Flint, Michigan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. Awesome. Was your dad a member, or was he?
No, he wasn't either. He used to go to Catholic school, actually.
Oh, interesting.
But he and my mom, when they got together, they served a mission for the Baptist church in Liberia, West Africa.
Oh, neat. So, that's really neat.
So they're career lovers of the Lord. So
yeah, and the fruit of their work and their love is reflected in all of you guys. And I just love that. I think it's pretty awesome. It's obvious to me when I was watching you on, through various things, that you live your faith and you are really, truly who you say you are. And
oh, wow.
I'm serious. And I just admire that so much about you. And it's obvious to me as a mom, of course. I see you and I say, wow, he obviously has a really good mother behind him and a good wife, I'm sure. So
she's amazing. She's a Haitian woman. She's a good woman. Those are strong people,
Absolutely. That is great.
Out there. Sacate.
Yeah. So there was one presentation I saw where you explained how through adversity you gain strength from the stories of your ancestors. And I love that so much because I feel like it's an important message for the youth today, because there are so many people as they grow older, they look back on their past and they just blame so much on their parents and of course people have trauma, that's normal, but they just emphasize that so much instead of the message you bring, which is, no, I get strength from my ancestors and I get strength from the path that my family before me has paved. And so I'm curious to hear of a specific time where that testimony, where that kind of clicked for you, that strength was from your ancestors, if that makes sense.
Oh my gosh. I mean, throughout my whole life, my mom taught us spirituals, and spirituals were songs that my ancestors who were enslaved, they sang this through all their hardships, through working in the fields, being enslaved, but they still had love for God and praised him because they knew there would be a better day. They survived so that I could have the life that I have now. And so for me, there's this quote that I just love. I love this quote, and it allows me to not, I'm sorrowful for the hardships they had to go through, but I have such a great sense of gratitude for them overcoming that and being strengthened through Christ, because they knew, even though they weren't allowed to read, right? They weren't allowed to read the scriptures for themselves. They were able to pass those scripture stories down through song, right? And so there's the quote is, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. Oh. So I'm not just living for me. I'm not just living for me, and every time I get up on Sunday and it's early and I'm going to church, I feel like my ancestors over there, like, that's my great-great-grandson.
Yes. Yeah.
That's my descendant, when I chose to marry this woman who loved God, man, they're up there. So I feel like as I'm living and I'm finding joy in the gospel, joy in the journey. And as the scriptures say, I mean, obviously life isn't always easy, but all things work for the good of those who love God. And I believe in that scripture.
Yes.
And so I'm just striving to be my ancestors' wildest dreams, and knowing that if they could praise through the hardships that they went through, oh man, I better praise and I better love my life, because it's been a blessing to have it.
Wow. That is so powerful. You just gave me chills. I just love that. I love that so much. Wow.
I get chills every time I talk about it.
Yeah, I bet you do. And
I'm grateful to be reminded of it. It's always good to have that, to have that reminder. It's like, wow, look at where I'm at, and I'm not here without those who came before me, and without the faith of those who came before me. I'm grateful that my parents chose that covenant path so that I could benefit from it, you know?
Yes. And I'm sure that wasn't easy for them either, switching from a different religion.
Oh yeah. And culturally.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They love our Black culture.
Right.
And so going to the West and then going to their church where it's organ and it's slow, and my mom and my dad having a musical background, it's like, Lord,
ultra shock.
Are you sure this is the place? Are you sure you want us here?
Right.
And it is the place. And so they press forward. And that's what I love about the gospel of Jesus Christ, is that we all come from different places, but you come, you bring who you are, and then you enrich the lives of the people around you. Oh
my gosh. Yes, exactly. And I'm so sure that your ancestors are probably up there having a party and saying, look at them. Oh my gosh, that's my family, That is so great. I love that story. Okay. So I just want to know, what are you doing? I'm sure you're doing a lot from the sound of it, but what are you doing specifically to pass all of this on, pass your testimony on to your children? Because I feel like as a mom, that's my biggest worry. Are they getting it?
The thing that we can give to our children is our testimony.
Yes.
Is to introduce them to their best friend, Jesus Christ. So for us, one thing that I've loved doing personally, just me, is at night laying down with my children, each of them, and at least the last three, my oldest 12-year-old, he'll join me sometimes, but we'll lay down, we'll talk about the day, what was your high, what was your low, who did you serve, and then we'll sing a song of praise. And these song of praises are spirituals that my ancestors sang. And then sometimes they're from the hymn book. And then sometimes it's just an inspirational song they heard on the radio, but they really love the spirituals. And so we sing those and they really get into it. They're clapping in bed.
Like that.
And so that's one thing. Also, I'm blessed to live close to my parents, so connecting them and helping nurture that relationship that they can while they're here. It's tradition. When they come here, they run and they go hug and they kiss grandma and grandpa, and they love to see their grandma and grandpa, and that love is reciprocated, so I think when you're loved, you think about your actions. You think about, man, I'm a person of value. I'm loved. Yeah. How is this going to affect my relationships? Am I going to make my parents proud? Most importantly, am I going to make my heavenly parents proud? So that gospel song of praise, connecting them to family who love them, who are living in a way that is honorable to the Lord, is huge. Those relationships are big time for us.
Yeah, that is great. And I personally love the spirituals. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't feel the spirit when that, you just can't help, but it's exciting and I love it. So I hope I hear more from you about like that kind of thing, those kind of music. Yeah. I love it. Share more of that.
Okay. I will,
it's
especially
so fun.
This month,
it's just so great.
Because this is the special month for America. This is the month of Juneteenth. And so our family's all flying in town, and we're going to sing and perform and just enjoy being together. Yeah. Because so many families were ripped apart, and know that, man, we're so blessed to be together, to sing God's praise and to acknowledge the amazing history and strength of our ancestors.
Music is so powerful. It's just beautiful. And I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to talk to you. You're such a genuine, down to earth, humble person. And it's so fun. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our listeners for joining us today. It's been so much fun. I hope you guys had fun too. And I hope that you were uplifted and inspired in some way. Once again, that's Yahosh Bonner with the Bonner family. And if you want to know more about him, you can connect with him on Instagram and Facebook. I know he would love to see you there. And until next time, you guys have a great week.